intro. Thank you so much, Emoji J, for my video intro, and welcome everybody to this safe space with me, that Cuban girl. And today's Own It show is going to be amazing. Before we continue, I have a couple of reminders and announcements for you all. Thank you, by the way, for tuning in. If you're just tuning into my live stream, welcome. I am so happy and grateful that you're here today with me. So a couple of reminders and announcements. This is a featured show, so please, I would love for you to, number one, be respectful of myself and respectful of my guests and respectful of the stream altogether, because we are here for inspiration, for good vibes only, and to be respectful of one another. This is a safe space for you and for my guests. So I would really appreciate it if you kept it respectful and clean and nice. Thank you so much. Another thing that I have to remind you of today is that we are going to have two amazing guests joining me in the box today. We're going to be having Masterpiece and Kendra, and I'm so excited to have you both. Also, please remember that I'm going to be giving you the quote of the day and the tip of the day eventually, a little bit later during the show. And at the very end of the show, I'm going to be asking both of my guests to join the box for final thoughts. Okay, so I see you all. I appreciate the favorites, the hearts, the gifts. I appreciate you guys. I see you all. Out of respect for my guests and out of respect for of the flow of the show and the conversations, I cannot acknowledge each and every single one of you individually, but I do want you to know that I see you and I take all the love really, really in a very appreciative way into my heart. So thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you. Okay. If you are just tuning in, hello and welcome to Own It. This is the show that we do every single Tuesday here exclusively on the Meet Me app at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. And in Own It, my intention with this show is to bring my experience that I have from the outside world, right? From entertainment to you, whether you're an audience member or a streamer yourself. I want to add to your life. I want to add value. I want to bring my experience, my skills, the things I have learned being a TV host, being a model, being a former Cuba to you, so you can use it and become a better person and you can become the better version of yourself. Because ultimately, I believe that this is the journey of life, right? We want to become the best versions of ourselves. So my intention with with this show, Own It, is that you walk out of here after this wonderful hour with a little bit more of a uplifting feeling about your life. Doesn't matter what it is you're doing. You could be a business owner, you could be a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is that you are. Hopefully you can take tools and tips and tricks to better your life. And if you're an online streamer, oh my gosh, I am sure that you're going to take so much value and skills from this show, because with my two amazing guests that I have every single week on here, what we do is we share our stories with all of you. We share our struggles. We share the things that have truly helped us overcome obstacles and become the best versions of ourselves, right? Like I mentioned before, that is a true journey. And Own It is all about learning how to truly own our uniqueness and the things that makes us ourselves, but also listening to others and taking the positive aspects of somebody else's lives into our own lives. So my intention is to help you and teach you how to brand yourself better, how to market yourself better, and how to eventually, or even just right now, become the best version of yourself. So welcome to Own It. If you are just tuning in, I am so grateful that you're here. So today's topic, because as you all know, if you have been watching my show for a few weeks now since we've been featured, I started doing this thing where I give every single episode a topic of the show, right? And today's topic of the show is preparation versus luck. And I was thinking, as I was preparing for the show today, I was thinking, okay, so both of my guests today are both entrepreneurs, and they're both wonderful people, wonderful streamers with very different stories. But regardless of whether their stories are similar or different, I believe that even in my own journey, right, everything requires preparation, because luck can only take you so far. And that is something that I am learning every single day as I become a better streamer, a better person, a better entrepreneur, right? So preparation versus luck. And before I welcome my first guest today, please, both my guests, please request the box. But before I welcome my first guest today, I want to welcome you. If you're just tuning into my stream, hello, this is Cicely. I go by That Cuban Girl, and this is my show, Own It. This is a feature show that happens every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you for tuning in, for taking time of your day to watch this and to learn, okay? In Own It, I interview two wonderful streams, two beautiful guests every single week. We share our stories, and my intention with the show is to help you, give you tips, give you tips and skills that tools, excuse me, that you can use, that I have learned as an entertainer, right? So you can use to become to have a better online presence. So with that said, I am going to welcome my first guest of today, Masterpiece. Hello.
Hi there. Can you guys
Hi.
see me okay?
Well, you have a lot of shadows with the light behind you. I don't know if is that on purpose.
Not fully, but I had you guys sit before and the wind knocked you over, so
No
I
problem.
don't have to be outside. It's just so much more pleasant.
There you are. No, that's perfect. There you go. That's perfect. Hello. Welcome to Own It.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here, for being my guest. Masterpiece, when I was reading your bio earlier today, I was like, wow, I'm so impressed with everything that you've accomplished, everything that you are. For all of you guys who don't know Masterpiece, please hit him with a favorite right now, because I'm sure that his story is going to really uplift you and inspire you, just like it did to me. Masterpiece, he's a long-time entrepreneur. I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about himself, but he's a long-time entrepreneur, and he's also a big philanthropist. And I love that I can have you on the show today. Tell me a little bit, Masterpiece, of a little bit about your journey, first as a philanthropist. Is that the word?
Philanthropist, yeah.
Philanthropist. How did
I
that
mean,
happen to you, for you?
um, I think I was always raised on the idea of trying to give back. Um, my parents in particular were always giving donations to various non-charitables and really learning about what they were offering, what they were doing to better humanity or better their cause. Um, for me, I do sometimes invest money, but a lot of what I invest is time into my philanthropic measures, whether they be the orchestra that I helped to co-found last year in Cooperstown, New York. We just had our inaugural concert season with 3 runoff concerts. Um, the nonprofit wheelchair tennis program that I started in Arizona, which was my first foray into it. I had no idea what I was doing. I needed help writing bylaws. I needed help figuring out how to switch from being an LLC to an S corp. It was a whole big mess. So it's definitely been a learning journey along the way, but I've learned from not only my own education, collegiate background, but also from my friends. I just had a friend come over and greet me and spend the night because I just got back to Hawaii. And he and I have been friends for 15 years. He's working on his 5th undergrad degree. Um, so he's always somebody I turn to if I'm having a marketing question. On the other hand, he turns to me for social media marketing. I turn to another friend for business law. They turn to me for different aspects of business and consulting. But for me, philanthropy is really just about giving back and supporting each other. Um, again, with time, with energy, with resources, whatever it may be.
I love that, and I think there's a huge correlation between philanthropy and being an entrepreneur, which I love that you're both. So wait, are you from Hawaii originally?
No, I'm not. I'm originally from New York, but I moved to Hawaii for university in '05, and I've lived here on and off for 18 years since then. I ran my first business that had employees. I ran here. Um, the first one that was a little bit bigger scale than I had done in the past.
Okay, I
Um,
love Hawaii. That's what I was asking you. I go to Oahu every
yeah,
year, and I love it.
I love Hawaii too. I can't leave for very long. I start to miss it quite a bit.
Oh, so Masterpiece, so how did your streaming career begin? Because you coming from a big philanthropy background and entrepreneurial background, we're gonna get a little bit more into that in a few minutes. But how did you go from that to streaming here?
It's kind of an interesting journey. So I've been on Plenty of Fish, like since it was a website. I met my first wife on Plenty of Fish when I lived in Guam. So that goes back to like 2009. Um, I went through that marriage and some other relationships. And I'm going through divorce from my second marriage. Um, and when my ex-wife declared that she wanted the divorce, I went to New York to start handling some family business that had been kind of waiting, but my relationship was more pressing. Um, and I opened up POF and found out it was an app in New York. I wanted to meet other friends when I got there, upstate New York. I wanted to meet some more friends because almost everybody that I grew up with was either like moved away or like older and had too many jobs and kids and too much responsibility to come and hang out and do stuff with me like I usually did. So I started using POF simply from the social aspect to try to meet more people. And I discovered the live. Um, and I wound up with a friend of mine who I dated for a short time too. We kind of played around with the live, experimented with being in each other's lives, versing each other, her being in mine, me being in hers. And we saw it as a really good way to communicate with a large quantity of people at once. So if you have a lot of information to share, or if you have a lot of experiences to share, or even just good support for one another, therapeutic type support, that it was a really good resource for that. And so I basically studied the app for about 8 months before I sent anything bigger than a rose. I figured out before I invested in the app what my purpose for it was. If I'm going to invest money in this, what's my purpose? Well, part of it is reallocating funds from maybe what I call my fun money, what I used to spend going to a strip club or going out to the bar to drink or going to a nightclub. And I reallocated that money into here, and I said, I'd rather give this to my friends and hang out with them than go spend them on random people out. And then from there, it became, okay, well, now I want to invest in this as a social media network building platform. And that's my number one goal, and it has been since I got on the app, is to build my social media network, build my IG following, make sure that when I roll out a new website or I'm involved in a new organization or we have an event, I roll it out, everybody sees it, everybody shares it, everybody wants to support it because I'm in here supporting them too. And that's number two, is kind of helping others to build their empire, build their whatever it is they're working on, whether it be on stream or off stream.
I love that. Quick pause to welcome everybody. Hello, hello. If you're just tuning in right now, welcome. This is Honest. This is a feature show that happens here on the Meet Me app every single Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Cicely, but I go by That Cuban Girl. And today in Own It, I am talking to my first guest, the wonderful Masterpiece. He's a longtime entrepreneur, philanthropist, and much more. Of course, also streamer. Here in Own It, my intention is help you, give you tips and tools of things that I have learned throughout my journey as an entertainer. And hopefully you can take all the tools and things that you need, whether they're ideas to become the better version of yourself. So thank you so much for being here. I see all of your love, the favorites, the hearts, the gifts, and I appreciate it all. Make sure you go and favorite my wonderful guest right now. So, Masterpiece, I love that you mentioned that because having an intention for something, it's also the topic of your show today, preparation, right? You're preparing. It's kind of like, okay, so I'm on this website. What's my intention? You're preparing for what the outcome that you want out of it, which I love it. I love it because a lot of people tend to do things on a whim, which sometimes can help you. Sometimes you do things on a whim and you get lucky, right? But you're not gonna get lucky every single time you do something. So how do you think, in your own words, preparation has been, or what place has preparation taken when it comes to your entrepreneur journey?
I found it really interesting when I saw what the topic of discussion was today, because it rang true for a couple of experiences that I've had in business, and I've definitely learned from mistakes along the way or from bad luck along the way, things that you just couldn't have foreseen as being a problem. But preparation, logistics have always kind of been a specialty of mine. I was the chief party planner for our fraternity. I'm always a go-to for people when they're trying to solve a problem, whether it be like a shipping logistics issue, or they want to set up and have an event. What do they need to think about? What are the considerations? When I saw the topic of discussion, it reminded me of the second business that I went into. And this was here in Hawaii. I had come here for college. I was playing for the tennis team. I met somebody through the same program that I was studying in, kinesiology and exercise science, who was also heavily into tennis. His family had like resorts in the Caribbean, and he at one point caught wind of a tennis club that was up for sale on the other side of the island. And he was really motivated. He was like bugging me a couple of times a week. Hey, did you check into that yet? Did you see? Because I was going to see if maybe it was somebody I knew. I'd already been in my profession a long time. And I followed up eventually on his push, and I found out it was my former junior coach. So he was able to broker us a deal for taking over the club. And this friend of mine was all for it. We got our attorneys involved to draft up the documents. We got so committed that we were buying out the club, and we were buying a condo over there in the town that we would stay at and that other people could stay at when they came to work with us. And despite all that preparation, he left himself a loophole and backed out once I was already pretty deeply invested with time and energy. And so I lost my partner, but I didn't want to lose the opportunity because I felt I'd already invested my reputation, especially as I had known the former owner before he was introducing me. Everybody assumed I was coming in, he was retiring. If I wasn't there, it could have been somebody random, something that didn't mean anything. So I stuck with it and I tried to proceed. And I did as best as I could for a year and a half, considering that I was understaffed. I wound up having to hire people, which meant that my cash flow was shorter, my net income was less. But in the late spring of 2008, the volcanic cycle over here in Hawaii shifted and a new volcanic vent opened up down in the south end of the island that was venting VOG directly into this city of Kona. And it was like nobody could have predicted it. It shifts every 25 years. You never know when a new vent's going to open up. New VOG vent opened up, and the air was so bad that we couldn't ethically train people on the tennis court. Like, the air quality was so poor. The Hard Rock Cafe in town closed down. They were an outdoor open air Hard Rock. And for me, I lost $3,000 a month for 6 months, and I had to close the doors. I hated to do it, but you know, the thing is that I couldn't have prepared for that stroke of bad luck. No matter what I did, all I had to do was just kind of handle it as it came. And unfortunately, it was too much for me to financially be able to survive. So that was a major lesson learned. And I took a break from running my own businesses and I went back to school, and then my career continued.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm sorry about that. But also, we learn from our failures, right? We learn from the lessons that we take. And failures are only failures if we allow them to be failures, you know? But that's a side of entrepreneurship, right? That we all take a risk in doing. I'm also partnered up with a beauty and wellness brand that I really believe in, and that's also my business, my own online business as well, that I do besides being a streamer and the other things that I do. So I totally understand where you're coming from, but I love the fact that you've been able to pick yourself back up and work on things that really matter to you and find a new meaning in your failures, right?
Definitely. And the education that I got in that year and a half, even though I lost money out of the deal, was better than I could have gotten out of a 2-year business degree, because it was hands-on and it was me fully invested in me. You know, every aspect of that business was me. So if I was making a marketing decision, I was selling me. If I was making a upgrade decision or some extra benefit that we wanted to have for members, it was really about me and the business I was building. And the more that you can invest yourself in what you're doing, the more personal it becomes, the more valuable it is when you accomplish things, or when you make a sale, or when you accomplish this deal. But also, like, the more meaningful it is and the more driven you can be. I think it's real easy for entrepreneurs to be like kind of behind the scenes and having other people doing that work and not really feeling as connected to what they're doing.
Right, 100%. Thank you so much for sharing that. Hello, everybody. Welcome if you're just tuning in. This is Own It, hosted by That Cuban Girl. A little bit about myself is I'm a former Miss Cuba. I'm a model. I'm a TV host. I'm a green girl. And I am here every single Tuesday. This is my feature show exclusively here on the Meet Me app, where I help you become the best version of yourself. And the way we do that is by talking to my guests so they can share their stories, their struggles, and how they have been able to jump over those obstacles, right, and become the best version of themselves by owning the uniqueness of who they are. And that leads me to my next question to you, Masterpiece. What do you think makes you and your brand and your streams unique and different based on your life experiences?
Well, I carry a lot of my mother's energy. My mother passed away a few years back, and I carry forward a lot of her energy of caring for everybody, kind of just wanting to offer the best benefit. You know, if somebody's sick, I want to offer some tips to help them feel better. If somebody's injured, I have experience as a trainer and also in physio work to be able to make suggestions for maybe an ice bath or to go through the RICE process. If somebody is trying to lose weight, if somebody's trying to gain weight, if somebody is trying to get healthier, if somebody is working on a business, any way that I can be beneficial and we can create mutual benefit where we're leveling each other up, that's what drives me. Because me being a better version of myself every day, that only goes so far, and I can lead by example and people can see me working towards that. But if I'm also helping others to level up along the way, then I feel that's just more beneficial all around. And that's what I truly believe in, whether I'm working with kids, mentoring, working with seniors, adding content, and really trying to bring as much content as I can to the stream too.
And that is so important for me as well. That's why I do this show too, because like you said, it's not enough to become the best versions of ourselves, but also to share what we know and add value to other people. So I totally relate with you in that aspect too. And that's also helping us become the best version of ourselves, giving back as well, right? So I believe that even doing the work ourselves, a lot of us can, by leading by example, a lot of other people can relate to that and see that we're doing it, and also inspire them to do that as well, right?
100%. Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Own It with That Cuban Girl. I just want to make a quick pause to say a couple of announcements as I talk here with my wonderful guest. Number one, I see all of your comments, all of your love, your gives, your everything. Thank you so much for being here. It is truly appreciated. I also want to remind you, I am going to be giving a shout out shortly to my top gifters of the stream today. And also, please stay towards the end of the show, because right after I talk with my first guest, I'm going to be giving you the quote of the day and then the tip of the day. And at the very end of the show, I will be bringing both of my guests back in the box for final thoughts, okay? So thank you so much for staying through all the way. I really appreciate it. Masterpiece, tell everybody before I let you go for a few minutes, just plug in everything you're doing and let everybody know how to find you.
Okay. Well, so yeah, I'm excited. Like, I'm actually launching my streaming schedule in beginning of December. So it's going to be updated at the top of my bio regularly. I'm always going to list times in Eastern time because it's just simpler for everybody to keep track of it that way. I am going to be streaming Tuesday through Friday, basically mid-afternoon, from noon Eastern time to about 4 Eastern time, give or take, depending. Each day I'll have kind of a theme. And then I do have some show appearances coming up besides this excellent opportunity. On the 30th, I'm going to be on both Not Too Shabby with Krabby and Friends Exposed with Winda. So that's all in one day. And just one other thing is this Friday, right after Thanksgiving at 10 p.m. Eastern will be my Millie party. I've got DJ Bossy in the house, and I just want to use it, especially on the tail of Thanksgiving, to show my appreciation for everybody that helped me to get here. I'm trying to get my faves up and apply for Top Badge in January.
I love that. I love that. You know, that's also my goal, to apply for Top Badge in January. I literally said that last stream. So I hear you on
Let's
that.
do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna support you because I know it's a big deal. Also, I want to say big shout out to Krabby, because he was here earlier at the beginning of the show. I don't know if he's here still, but he's a great streamer as well. Please go favorite Krabby. He has an amazing show, super supportive. So I'm glad you brought him up, and good luck on the show. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love the quiz shows. I'm actually might be working on one in the back behind the scenes too. We'll let you guys know how that progresses.
I love that. Quick fun fact: I might be in Krabby's Hall of Fame up there somewhere. So.
All right, great.
Thank you so much, Masterpiece. I'm going to be letting you go for now, but I'll see you in a little bit, okay? Thank you for being here.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just tuning in to Own It, this is, well, I just said it. This is Own It. This is the feature show that happens exclusively here on the Meet Me app every single Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time with me, that Cuban girl. And who am I, you might ask, if this is your first time running into my profile in my live stream? Well, I am a former Miss Cuba. I am a model. I am currently a ring girl, and I am also a TV host. I saw somebody earlier comment in the comment box that what have I done or something like that. And well, basically, I have an upcoming series on the PBS network that comes out in 2023 where I got the honor of hosting one of their episodes, and I'm super excited about that. So in my trajectory in the last 10 years, I have learned so many things being in the entertainment industry. And so with this show, Own It, I am so grateful that it's featured because I know I can reach so many people on the platform. And my intention with the show is that you and I together can learn to become the best version of ourselves, whether you are an online streamer or you love to support and just connect with new people and simply, just take information and take tools and skills. It is my hope and my intention with the show that I can help you do that, and that you walk out of this show every single week after we meet together a little bit more uplifted and with, just a little bit more knowledgeable about branding, marketing, to have more confidence. And that reminds me, couple of announcements before we move on. Okay, please make sure that you stay until the end of the show, because I'm going to be revealing the quote of the day, the tip of the day, and I'm going to be bringing back both of my guests in the box for final thoughts. Okay, I love that both of my guests today are both entrepreneurs and they have experience being business people, right? And I think that's so important. So because I had their bios before the show, I decided to make the topic of the show today all about preparation versus luck, right? Preparation is so important in my opinion, because only by being prepared we can really plan ahead. I believe myself, I've never been much of a planner, and that's something that I am learning this last year. And so preparing myself even for the show has been my own learning process and lesson, right? Because you just have to be prepared for anything you want to accomplish in your life. So before we move on, and I welcome my beautiful second guest, please, I'm gonna ask Kendra to request the box. I am going to be giving a shout out to the top gifters, supporters of the show today. In number 10, that Cuban kid. Number 9, Louis. Number 8, Witch Toker. Number 7, Krabby. Number 6, Savage OG. Number 5, Masterpiece. Thank you very much, my wonderful guest. Number 4, Me Bell. Number 3, Bestie Bunny. Number 2, more Mr. Abs. Thank you so much. Number 1, Cooley. Thank you guys for supporting the stream, supporting the show, and for being here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon with all of us. So the quote of the day, before we move on, I'm going to be sharing it with you. And it goes like this: there are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. So I wanted to share that with you because as I was talking to Masterpiece a little bit earlier during our interview, we can fail so many times, and that is totally okay. But it is only from failing that we move forward, we move past that, and we can actually be successful. But also preparation and working hard is what is truly going to push us into that next level, right? So I wanted to share the quote of the day with you guys. Stick around for the tip of the day after my interview with beautiful Kendra. And without further ado, you guys, I want to welcome someone who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting before, but she sounds amazing. She's a single mom. She has a great story that I'm going to let her share with all of you guys. And she's also a small business owner, which is another reason why I'm so excited that you guys get to hear from her. Of course, she's also a streamer on here. So thank you so much, Kendra, for being here. She goes by Witch Toker. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you.
Hello, how are you doing? I love the hair.
Oh, thank you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I love that. Well, I'm really excited to talk to you. First of all, because of your story, of course, but also I want to ask you, where does that name, that username come from?
So when I was trying to figure out what username to use, I wanted something that was unique to me. And I am a practicing witch who uses cannabis medicinally. So that's what the name means.
I love that. I love that. So when you say you're a practicing witch, this is something really interesting to me. Are you a healer? What do you mean by that?
I am. So my small business is actually a salve, a lotion, a hard lotion that I make. That is kind of magic. It has healed almost everything we've thrown at it, and we've put it on burns, tattoos, cuts, scrapes, um, rashes, eczema, all of it. It has healed and healed quickly. Cuts, it's like fuse the flesh back together within 24 hours. Burns, sunburns especially, it'll get rid of within 24 hours. Um, so I made this salve as a way to not only help myself, I'm disabled, but to help other people because topical pain relievers don't usually work very well. And this stuff, everyone I've given it to, especially someone who has immediate pain, has used it and immediately said, "Oh my gosh, that got rid of it like immediately." So, yeah, a healer.
That's amazing. So okay, so let's take it step by step because you said you're disabled, and I think that's part of your story that makes it so great, in my opinion. You told me in your bio that you're autistic yourself, and that both of your kids are also autistic, correct?
Correct, yeah. So, my kids were diagnosed about 2 years ago, and I was diagnosed about a year ago. I was actually hit by a drunk driver when I was 21, so about 16 years ago. And I broke both my ankles and had to have emergency surgery on my left ankle, which unfortunately was the wrong surgery. So I had to have 3 more surgeries to fix the first one. So I can't work outside the home anymore. So I've been messing around with my own businesses for almost 16 years now.
Wow. That is an amazing, I mean, it's sad, and I'm sorry that that happened to you, but also I am very aware that the things that are difficult for us are the things that also make us stronger. So you're a very strong person, you seem, and I love the fact that you have been able to turn all of that experience around and make it into your own businesses, helping people heal themselves as well. And the reason I asked you what, where the term witch came from and what it meant to you is because there's a lot of negative connotations when people hear, oh, I'm a witch. And I just wanted you to express and tell people your story and really share with us that that's not a negative thing. Not all witches are negative, right?
Exactly. There are a lot of different branches of witchcraft, just like there are good Catholics and bad Catholics, there are good witches and bad witches. There are good Jews and bad Jews. It doesn't really matter. There's good people and bad people. It doesn't matter what the religion is. The religion itself is focused more on worshiping nature and utilizing nature to heal our bodies.
Right. And I want to send a quick reminder to everybody. This is not a show where we discuss religion. This is simply our opinions and are based on our own life stories. I do want to make that clear. We're not here to talk about really differences in religions or anything like that. But I did want her to make that distinction and express to you guys where she comes from with that, because it's all linked to her business and the things that she's doing. And I know it comes from an amazing place in her heart where she just wants to turn her experiences into something positive by helping people and launching her own business, right, Kendra?
Exactly. I just want people to be free of pain. That's why I made the topical. And I actually just had a meeting this past weekend with someone who gave me a lot of good ideas on getting my product into stores. So I'm hoping with the next batch, we will be able to put it into stores and sell it online. So I'm really excited.
I'm super excited for you. And I want to welcome all of you guys. If you're just tuning in, welcome. This is Own It, hosted by yours truly, that Cuban girl. This is a feature show that happens here on the Meet Me app exclusively every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to send my love and my appreciation to all of you guys who are here showing support. I see the gifts, I see the comments, I see the favorites. I so appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. In a little bit, I'm going to be giving a shout out to my top 10, supporters of the stream. I want to remind you to please go give Kendra a favorite, go support her, go check out her streams. She's gonna tell us later where to find her, etc. And stick around till the end of the show, because two things are yet to happen. Number one, I'm going to be giving you the tip of the day, and the topic of the day today is preparation versus luck, right? So I'm going to be giving you the tip of the day, and I'm going to be bringing both of my guests back in the box for final thoughts, okay? So Kendra, I want to ask you, when it comes to preparation, how has preparation been, what story, what role has preparation taken in your life, based on your life story and your journey, everything you've been through?
Um, when I was younger, and even when I wasn't too young, like in my mid 20s, I wasn't a big preparer. I was not a big planner. I would just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. Um, as I transitioned into trying to own and be successful in my own businesses, I realized that wouldn't work very quickly. And I've learned that it's best to be over prepared than under prepared. Um, so part of my business is also photography. I did a photo shoot. It's called an open shoot, which I'm sure you're familiar with, where models, photographers, and makeup artists all get together. Everybody gets their hair done and their makeup done, and then everybody gets their pictures taken. I hosted my first one, and it was me doing the whole thing. It was about 15 people, and I over prepared like heck for that open shoot. And even though I over prepared, things still went wrong. And it was one of those, like, you just have to learn how to flow with it. And luckily, the things that went wrong, we had prepared for. We knew that they were a possibility of happening. So I really feel that preparedness is something that you need to be familiar with a business, owning a business, and not just rely on luck. Uh, Luck has its place, but preparedness is the name of the game.
100%, I agree with that too, because I have never been a planner growing up. My entire life, I was never a planner. And like I said earlier, it's been a tough lesson where I have had to become a planner in my life. And I think I'm actually getting really good at it. But it is so important, especially if you own a business. Anything you do in life, you have to plan for it, right? And that's like the biggest thing I want everybody to take out of the show today is please prepare. And I'm going to be giving you tips in just a bit on how to prepare better for whatever you need, okay? Kendra, thank you so much. I want to give you the space on the floor before I let you go now, just for a few minutes before I bring you back, to tell everybody where they can find you. What do you have going on right now?
So I stream pretty much every day as often as I can. There are days that I can't stream at all. There are days that I'm on and off and on and off and on and off. It just depends. Unfortunately, I don't have a schedule right now. And what I do on my streams mainly is relax because usually I'm just kind of going, and uh, it's it's very exhausting. So I come on here to stream and to chill out with my friends and take a breather.
I love that. And you don't have to have a schedule. That I think, in my opinion, the most beautiful thing about streaming is, I think, in my opinion, you should just do it when you're in the best energy to do it. It shouldn't feel like a chore. It shouldn't feel like a thing you have to do, right? It's more like, oh, I feel like connecting with my community today, and that's what allows it to be a beautiful experience, right?
Absolutely.
Cooley said, I love that chill vibes. Yes, we all do. Thank you so much, Kendra, for being on my show today. I'm going to be talking to you in just a little bit when I bring both of you guys back in the box. Everybody go favorite Kendra if you haven't done so. Go check out what she's about. Go follow her on Instagram. Ask her what her skincare business is all about. Please connect, because ultimately this is what this community is all about, right? True, authentic connection. I will see you in a little bit, Kendra. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So for all of you guys that are just tuning in, we are just reaching the end of the show. Only a few minutes left, but there is a lot that we can still talk about, and we will. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new to my stream, if you're new to my show, let me introduce myself. Hello, I am Cicely. I am best known as That Cuban Girl on every social media platform, YouTube, you name it. And I have this feature show on Tuesdays here exclusively on the Meet Me app every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So a little bit about myself quickly, if you're just coming into my stream. I am a former Miss Cuba, I am a model, I am a ring girl, and I am a TV host. And my whole intention with this show is to bring you a safe space where you can learn about branding, marketing, where you can become the best version of yourself, whether you're a streamer or even if you're not a streamer, and we can all together own it. Own what? Well, own the uniqueness of who we are. I have two beautiful guests every single Tuesday that I talk with. They're all different. They're all similar. We are all just here to share with you our life experiences or struggles, and share, the things that we go through that might inspire you to become the best version of yourself. And that's what Own It is all about. Please be respectful of the stream, of my guests, of myself. This is a future show. Thank you so much to all of you guys who are supporting the show, who are giving the hearts, the gifts, the favorites. I appreciate you. I want to give a quick shout out to Sonayelis for the favorite, because you are my 1900, my number 1900 favorites. So thank you so much for doing that. And before we move on, and I tell you the tip of the day, I want to give a quick shout out to my number 5 top gifter supporters of the stream. Okay, so number 5 is Bestie Bunny. Thank you, Jojo. Number 4, More Miserables. Number 3, Frank the Tank. Number 2, Cooley. Number 1, Legend. Everybody go favorite my amazing top streamers and top gifters, because they're all great people. Okay. Hey, so without further ado, ado, I'm going to go on and give you the tip of the day, okay? So the topic of the day today is preparation versus luck. And I found this to be the perfect topic for today's show because both of my guests are both entrepreneurs and they have very unique stories. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and preparation is a huge part of all of that, right? So my tip of the day is, if you are prepared for anything, you will never be surprised or overwhelmed. And I'm going to give you, let me see how many, it is about 7 tips, 7 quick tips on how to better prepare yourself, okay? So number 1, before you can define success for yourself, you should make a list of what success looks like to you. So before we think about success, we have to have a clear idea or clear knowledge of what it is that success means for us. Because what success means to me is most likely 100% different than what it means to you, because we have different goals in life with different people, etc. My tip number 2 is make lists, okay? This is something that has truly helped me in the last couple of years. Make lists. It doesn't matter if you think you have nothing going on. That's okay. Still make a list. Write down, number 1, have my coffee. Number 2, work out. Number 3, I don't know, check in, call la abuelita. I don't know, just make lists and check off what you've done, because it also is going to make you feel better when you check off everything, okay? Number 3, plan ahead and set goals. Number 4, organize yourself and your ideas. Number 5, do not leave things up to chance, okay? Because luck can only take you so far in life. You have to prepare. Number 6, luck is preparation meeting opportunity. And number 7, put yourself in places and situations that align with your goals. It's so important. And I'm sure if you're here on this streaming platform, and if you're a streamer, you already have this one figured out. Number 7, it's like, put yourself in situations where you can align with the things that you want, right? I'm sure if you're a streamer, you are trying to align to a net worth of network. Did I say that correctly? You know what I mean. You're trying to find those amazing people that have similar goals and things that you can relate with, right? Like, create your community. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. If you're just tuning in, this is Own It, hosted by That Cuban Girl, yours truly. You can find me on Instagram. If you just go on my Meet Me profile, click on the Instagram logo, you can DM me, inbox me. I get back to absolutely everybody as long as you're respectful. It might take me a day or so, but I always get back to everybody. And you can find me on YouTube if you just research That Cuban Girl. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of your comments, support, hearts. I appreciate you supporting my guests as well, and I'm going to be bringing them back in the box in just a few minutes. I see you all, I read all of your comments, and I am so excited and grateful that you're here today. Make sure that you're here again next Tuesday. Couple of Tuesdays ago, I did something that I was testing out, and I actually was really happy with the results. I haven't been doing it every single Tuesday because, like I said, I was just testing it, but I think I'm going to do it next Tuesday, so make sure that you're here. It's kind of like a surprise / bonus for being part of my show, so make sure you're here next Tuesday if you want to know what that's going to be all about. And if you've been here before, you already know what it is, but shh, don't say anything. So you guys, without further ado, I'm going to ask both of my beautiful guests to join me back in the box for final thoughts, for final questions, for final things that I would like to talk to them about and share with them. Let me see. So Witch Toker is here, and I don't know if Masterpiece is still around. Hopefully he is. Hopefully he's still around. Let's see. Yep, there he is. Okay.
Still around.
Still around. Thank you for being here. Also, let me send a quick reminder. If you guys want to be a guest on my show, please contact me or contact Emoji J, okay? Emoji J, please write in the comment box who you are. You guys can go talk to him, okay? You guys, thank you so much, Witch Toker and Masterpiece, for being on my show. Thank you for sharing your stories, for being vulnerable. I truly appreciate it, because ultimately this is why I wanted to create this show. I think that there are a lot of people out there who are hurting or who are a little bit lost in life. And I think that us sharing our stories together can truly inspire and help somebody else be better. So that is my intention with the show, is basically to own who we are, right? Sorry.
No, no, I didn't want to interrupt you. I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, it's okay. This is your space. So I wanna close out the show today with final thoughts from both of you. I know I know you both have very different stories, but I just would like for you to expand to people that are watching today. Give them advice or share with them something that has truly helped you in your journey as an entrepreneur and your preparation with everything you're doing, even your journey as a streamer, you know?
I think for me, the one piece of advice I would give would be to do something that you love. Because if you're doing something that you love, you're not working, you're having fun. And it's just a lot easier to stay on track when you love what you're doing as opposed to just clocking in and out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I want to just refer back to what you said, Cuban Girl, about making lists. One of the things that helped me a great deal in all of my endeavors was that using a whiteboard for my list, because I could wipe stuff out and add stuff back in. And most importantly, treating those lists like goal setting, just like Cully just said, because it doesn't make sense for me to make a list that says like start business and all these other things. Those are massive goals, and I'm going to be discouraged by not achieving success at those. I want to find success, so I want to find the small pieces that need to lead up to those bigger goals that I need to find. And I'm available anytime somebody wants some suggestions on goal setting. That's part of the mental toughness training that I got years ago. Which, Toker, I wanted to honor you for persevering through physical disability to accomplish what you're doing. That's an aspect of my life that people won't learn until you get to know me better. But I definitely, that resonates for me. And for me, the other thing is, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something as the reason that you don't do it, because they don't know what you can do.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
I love that. Yeah, it's super important what you just said, because a lot of times we think that, you know, failure is a setback, and a lot of times it is actually what pushes us forward, you know. I love what you said about making lists as well of goals that we can actually accomplish in a short term, because rewarding ourselves and seeing those things actually done is good for your brain. It'll actually push you into your bigger goals. So I love that you said that, Masterpiece. A lot of valuable advice. I feel like I need to invite you both back on the show at some point, because there's so many more things that I wish I would have talked to you both about that we haven't touched on, based on your bios. Just so you guys know, before the show, I have my guests write me a bio and let me know who they are a little bit and their stories. And these two amazing people have a great story, that they've only shared the tip of the iceberg with us today in this hour. But I so appreciate you both. I'm so grateful that you're both here. Thank you for taking the time and your energy to be part of Own It. Thank you for owning who you are and for honoring each other as well. Because ultimately, this show is all about, you know, sharing our energy and honoring who we are as human beings and giving back and inspiring and helping other people do things that they truly want to do, become the best version of themselves. And I think it, as a collective, every time I have these conversations with guests and people from the same community of streamers, we all have so many amazing stories that people tell me later on, like, oh my gosh, your show was amazing, I learned so much, and it's all because of you, because of my guests, you know. So thank you for taking the time to be here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so for everyone of you guys, please make sure you go favorite Witch Joker and Masterpiece. Make sure you go check out what they're about. Congratulations, Masterpiece, on your 1 milli or your milli party. I'm so excited for you. You're welcome. And I am wishing you all an amazing Thanksgiving week. Anything you both want to say before we go?
I think I'm good.
Amazing. Okay. Well, what
Peace
are we?
to everybody.
Bye, guys. So, you guys, thank you for being here today. Thank you for taking the time to watch the show. Thank you for clicking on the live, you know, and on Own It on this beautiful Tuesday right before Thanksgiving. I want to say I truly appreciate you watching the show, being here with all of us. And I will see you next Tuesday in Own It, where every Tuesday we can really own who we are and have great conversations. And my hope is that if you can't, before we go quickly, I want to give a last shout out to Legend, Cooley, Frank the Tank, More Miss Rabs, Bestie Bunny, me, Mel Bell, Masterpiece, Savage OG, Krabby, and Mr. Solo for being the top gifters of the stream today. You are truly appreciated. I appreciate you being here. And remember, next Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a little bonus thing for all of you guys who tune in. And you're going to find out what that is only if you tune in next Tuesday. So I will see you here on Own It at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great Thanksgiving, my loves. Bye.